Hey, what's up YouTubers, and welcome back to another Todd E. Walnuts collection video. Thank you for dropping by the Walnuts compound in the great state of Wisconsin. Today I'm going to show you guys my Hanna-Barbera disc collection, the Blu-rays and DVDs that I own. But the real reason I'm sharing this video today, if you stick around till the very end of this video, I'll show you this amazing book that I got. I'm going to tell you why this is probably one of the best deals I've got in years. And I'm going to tell you guys how you can have a chance to get your own book like this. So stick around and let's check out the Hanna-Barbera collection. So there is my very humble Hanna-Barbera collection. This shelf and a half or shelf and 3/4, you can see dust kind of floating around because I was moving things around, and it probably looks like my house is a pig pen, which it's usually not. It's just that movies like this collect dust. I'm sure you guys can understand that. I'm going to go through and share my collection with you guys, and I'm pretty excited to talk about the book that I just showed you guys. It's on my bed right now. It was an unbelievable deal. It was an Amazon buy, and I just can't believe what I got, and I'll show you guys that at the very end, so please do stick around. So for my Hanna-Barbera collection, I have this alphabetized, but I'm starting with the Blu-rays. I only have 4. There's a couple that I'm missing. I think the Jetsons have a Blu-ray, which I don't have. There's a couple different Josie and the Pussycats that I don't have, which I'll pick those up eventually. But for now, this is what I have. And the first one is the Herculoids, the complete original series. I went through and I did a pretty in-depth collection overview with the info as far as like the years that these came out and how many episodes per set or per series. But I don't have all that information handy at the moment. I just wanted to kind of show all of these in one video, and I'm more interested in talking about the book. But I thought I would tie these two together. Next one is the complete original series of Johnny Quest. This was a great show. This one was from the 60s. And we have Space Ghost and Dino Boy, the complete series. And my favorite, or one of my favorites, there's so many different favorites to choose from. This is Thundar the Barbarian. This was great. So getting into the DVDs, and most of these should be alphabetized. I may have 1 or 2 out of place, but first one is the Addams Family, the complete series on 4 discs. The Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan, complete series. Let me know if you guys remember some of these. Adam Ant, the complete series. I'm sure some of you out there will remember these. Now this is a British set, and it's a shame that we don't have a proper release of this here in the States. But this is the complete season 1 of the Banana Splits, which I think this show only lasted for 3 seasons, maybe 2. But it's a shame that we don't have a proper release here. The next one is called Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. All 20 original episodes on 2 discs. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, the complete series. I believe this was voiced by the young fella from the Partridge Family. I could be wrong about that. And now I'm drawing a blank. Was it David Cassidy? I could be completely wrong about that. No, it says featuring the vocals of Mickey Dolenz and Frank Welker. Oh, I was way off on that. The next one is Captain Caveman in the Teen Angels, the complete series, and this was a great show. All of these were great shows. They don't make cartoons like this anymore. This was a very short-lived cartoon series. Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, the complete series, but I think it was only like 4 or 5 episodes. It was very, very short-lived. This one was really good. It was kind of a Scooby-Doo ripoff, and you'll notice that there's quite a few of those. They had a really good formula for Scooby-Doo, and then they tried to kind of cash in on that with other shows. But this is Clue Club. It's not as good as Scooby, but it's entertaining. The complete series. Here's Dastardly and Muttley in their Flying Machines, the complete series. This is what the first editions looked like. They kind of came in this, it was kind of a fatter pack, and then it had like a clear slip cover that went over the top of the, it's almost like a digipack style packaging. And then they re-released it, kind of a slimmer, just a regular Amaray case, DVD sized. Same show, just 2 different releases of it. And Devlin, the complete series, and then they tried to cash in here on Evel Knievel right around that same time. This was in the 70s. Here's one that doesn't really get as much credit, I think, as it deserves. You don't really hear too much about this as like a classic Hanna-Barbera, but this is Drac Pack, the complete series. This was a great show. It's a 3-disc set. And then in the 80s, with the video game boom, came Dragon's Lair. It's a complete series 2-disc set. This one's going for crazy money now, which I don't understand. I think it's because everybody's worried about things getting, erased from history and canceled and all that great stuff. This is the Dukes, the complete series. It's a 4-disc set about the Bo and Luke Dukes of Hazzard. This one's called Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles. This was really good. It's a 2-disc set, the complete series. Here's another kind of a Scooby-Doo sort of ripoff. This is the Funky Phantom, the complete series. It's a 4-disc set. This is kind of in the same vein as like He-Man or Thundar. This is called Galtar and the Golden Lance, complete series. A pretty cool cover. I like those. The color scheme that they got going on there. It's really nice. And another one, kind of a Scooby-Doo ripoff. This is Goober and the Ghost Chasers, 4-disc set, complete series. Now this one doesn't have an official release, so this is a fan-made or bootleg, however you want to say it. It's very well done. I prefer to call these fan-made when they're like this. Bootleg is just if somebody goes to a theater and records something on their phone and it looks kind of, garbage. But this actually looks really good. And this is the Great Grape Ape. It's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon that never had a release yet, an official release. This is called the Specials Collection. And this one includes The Adventures of Robin Hoodnick, Arthur, and the, what is that, Arthur? Hold on a second here. Oliver and the Artful Dodger, The Adventures of Robin Hoodnick, The Three Musketeers, and Cyrano. 5 classic TV specials. And then they had a Christmas Classics collection, The Town That Santa Forgot, A Christmas Story, and Casper's First Christmas. Next one is called Help. It's the Hair Bear Bunch, and they're kind of riffing on some of the trends that took place during the 70s. Wild clothing, wild hairstyles, and it's a pretty funny cartoon. Here's the Herculoids, which I showed earlier, has a Blu-ray upgrade. That's a 2-disc set, complete series. Here's Hong Kong Phooey, the complete series, 31 episodes. Scatman Crothers was the voice of Hong Kong Phooey. Here's Inch High, Private Eye, the complete series. Jabber Jaw, 4-disc set, complete series. And here's Johnny Quest, the complete first season, 26 episodes. Here's Johnny Quest. This is when they revived it in the 80s, and this is called the Complete 80s Adventures. And then they tried to revive it again, I believe, in the late 90s or early 2000s. This is called Johnny Quest, The Real Adventures. This one is not a cartoon, but it was a Hanna-Barbera show called Korg, 70,000 BC. Complete series. This is called the Quickie Koala Show, the complete series. Okay, we left off with Quickie Koala, so I took a little break just now. Next one's called Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har Har, the complete series. Next one is Loopy de Loop, the complete collection. Magilla Gorilla, the complete series, all 23 episodes. Moby Dick and the Mighty Mightor, great show. I really enjoyed this one. It's a 2-disc set, complete series. Here's another one I thought was really good. This was half live action and half animation. It was really well done. It was called The New Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. And right around in this era, Disney was doing this too. They were doing live action and animation. Really worked out well in that show, I thought. This one I bought at I think either a rummage sale or a thrift shop. This is called The Perils of Penelope Pitstop, the complete series. The Anthill Mob. This was a great show too. It was pretty funny. Next one's called The Peter Potamus Show, complete series. This one's called The Roman Holidays, the complete series. I don't know that much about this cartoon, but I remember seeing it on Boomerang about, I don't know, 20 years ago when they had kind of a resurgence of a lot of these Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Next one's called C-Lab 2020, the complete series. The Secret Squirrel Show, the complete series. Is that Secret Squirrel and Morocco Mole? Is that what it was? His sidekick was called, I believe. Secret Squirrel was voiced by Mel Blanc. Shazam, I thought this was a great cartoon too. It's a complete series. I'll be curious to hear how many of you guys remember these or have seen these when they were original or when they had the resurgence on Boomerang. This one I got at a thrift shop too. This is the Smurfs Season 1 Volume 1. I got this really cheap. I got this at a St. Vincent de Paul for $2.88. was never really the biggest fan of the Smurfs, but I wanted to grab it for that price and add it to the collection. Next one is called Space Ghost and Dino Boy, which I showed earlier, has a Blu-ray release. You get 20 episodes on 2 discs. Here's another kind of a twin billing. This is the Space Cadets and Young Samson. It's a 4-disc set. These were ultra short cartoons, so they would fit 2 cartoons in one regular cartoon slot. That's why it was kind of doubled up like that, if that makes sense. And the last one for this shelf is called Space Stars, and this is just kind of a greatest hits. You get Space Ghost, the Herculoids, Astro and the Space Mutts, and Teen Force, the complete series. So that's the end of shelf 1, and we got a little bit here to go on shelf 2, and then we'll dig into that book. Okay, so moving right along here, I have doubles of Speed Buggy, which I never sell anything for my collection. Very rarely do I sell anything. So I'll probably either trade one of these or just give it to somebody at some point. I don't need to. I don't even know why I have to. But this is the Speed Buggy Complete Series on 4 discs. It's exactly the same. The Super Globetrotters. Do you guys remember this show? This was a great show. And a lot of these cartoons had crossovers, and I remember the Globetrotters appearing on the Scooby-Doo show. I think that's the first time I ever knew about the Globetrotters. And here's Thundar, the DVD. This is the very first Hanna-Barbera DVD that I bought. And now I have it on Blu-ray as well. This is a great show. Really, really good. Valley of the Dinosaurs. 2-disc set, complete series. Really recommend that one. And here are the Wacky Races, the complete series. You guys remember Dick Dastardly. He ended up getting his own spin-off, his own show, Dastardly and Muttley. But this is where he got his start. He was a pretty funny villain. And that dog, his laugh was always funny, Muttley. Kind of that wheezy laugh. Here's one called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And this one was, the lead character was voiced by Tom Bosley, who was Mr. C on Happy Days. Mr. Cunningham. This is Wally Gator, the complete series. Here's Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch, the complete series on 3 discs. Here's one that I don't really know a lot about. This is called Where's Huddles? And if you look, it looks a lot like Walter Matthau, and I think, did Walter Matthau voice any characters in here? Paul Lynde, Cliff Norton, Mel Blanc, Gene Vanderpyle, and Marie Wilson. It doesn't say anything about, so this is where I should probably do some research, but to me that looks a lot like Walter Matthau, or like a caricature of him, but apparently not, because he would have been the first name up there. And we got the Yogi Bear Show, the complete series, 33 episodes on 3 discs. And I showed all these Scooby-Doo DVDs in a different video, but I'm gonna include them here just to have like a complete collection in one video. So I'll kind of do this quickly, but this is the new Scooby-Doo movies. This is Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The complete first and second season. And Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The complete 3rd season. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Because I'm looking at the movies and I had my phone way high. I got to get you guys in here so you can see too. So here's What's New Scooby-Doo, the complete 1st season. 13 episodes on 2 discs. And What's New Scooby-Doo, complete season 2. And then we had Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, complete season 1, 4 discs, 26 episodes. And the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. They kept trying to revive this over and over and over, and it did have some success, but it never got the success the original series, got. So, but it still sold a ton, and everybody knows, all generations know Scooby-Doo. So here's What's New Scooby-Doo Volume 4. This is the Scary Holiday episodes. Scooby-Doo and the Pirates. Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King. Scooby-Doo Monster Matinee. Scooby-Doo Alien Invaders. I pick these up at rummage sales or thrift shops when I see them. Here's a Blu-ray of Scooby-Doo and Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery original movie. Here's the new Scooby-Doo movies, the Almost Complete Collection. And this was a lot of the crossovers. You had Sonny and Cher, Laurel and Hardy, Don Knotts as Barney Fife, Batman and Robin. That was great. You see Jerry Lewis, Three Stooges, and Phyllis Diller, and many others. Dick Van Dyke. Mama Cass Elliot was in an episode. Jonathan Winters, the Harlem Globetrotters, we talked about that earlier. Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Scooby-Doo Route Scary 6. Scooby-Doo Where's My Mummy? Got that at a Dollar Tree. Scooby-Doo Winter Wonder Dog. Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo Carnival Capers. So you get circus monsters, Big Top Scooby-Doo, and Scooby-Doo and the Creepy Carnival. Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword. Scooby-Doo Abracadabra Doo. And the last one is Scooby-Doo Meets Batman, which I had a lot of fun with that. I'm going to pause it now and we're going to get into the book. Okay, so we made it in here on the bed. The ladies are here, as always. They're my best audience. Love those dogs. So I just wanted to tell you guys about this book. I was pretty shocked when I saw this. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of this book. I don't know a lot about the history, but I'll tell you what I know about the book. I know that it came out in 1989. It was written and compiled. There's stories and photos by Ted Sennett. 50 Years of Creativity, The Art of Hanna-Barbera. The first 300 copies back in 1989 were supposed to be signed copies. So if you ordered it early and the price tag was $50 back then, you would get a signed copy from Ted Sennett. There was supposed to be another 300 copies of random copies that had authentic film cells from one of these cartoons that would be randomly inserted into the book. And that was kind of a incentive for people to order this book. So you could have a chance to get an autographed copy or a film cell or a cartoon cell. Now in 2023, I've had this on my wish list for, no exaggeration, probably 10 years now. It's still been going for about $50, and usually that's without the dust jacket, and that's kind of a poor copy that has some sort of damage to it, coffee stains or pages ripped or pages missing or drawing in it. So Amazon, and I'm going to share a link with you guys, and this is no joke. I don't know if you guys are going to think I'm pulling a fast one on you. I couldn't believe what I saw inside this book when I opened it up. So I've had this on my Amazon wish list for a long, long time. About a week ago, they dropped the price to $30. I pulled the trigger, and since I'm a Prime member, I got free shipping. I was expecting to get a copy without a dust jacket, which I did get a dust jacket. I was expecting one to be just terrible, in terrible condition, because I read some of the reviews and people were getting bad copies, stained pages, pages missing, pages torn, whatever. When you go, I'm going to share the link. When you go there, you can decide if you want to try to roll the dice for, I think they raised the price now to $40 though. I just checked today before I recorded this video. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate information. So I got the dust jacket. The book is almost in perfect brand new condition. You can see what the original price tag was, $50. This is what the dust jacket looks like. It's in very good condition. You can see that there's a little bit of rippling there, which it looks like something was on top of it as it was sitting. This is embossed and maybe the paper got, kind of dimpled. I'm not concerned about that. I was just glad to see that it had a dust jacket. I was curious and I thought, what are the odds that I would have a Ted Sennett signed book? Very low. So I turned the next page and what did I see? It was signed by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera from 1989, Christmas Day of 1989. And on top of that, it was inscribed to Gordon Hunt, who was one of the, it says ace director. He was one of their best directors at Hanna-Barbera, and he did Scooby-Doo and all of these huge cartoons back in the day. And when I first saw this, I thought that almost looks like it might have been written all in one hand. So it looks like probably Bill Hanna inscribed this, and then signed his name, and then Joe Barbera signed it. And I was thinking, did somebody write that? Am I being hoodwinked here? So I looked it up. And I went to eBay to see if there was other books that were signed. And there were books selling for $1,200 that were signed by Hanna and Barbera, and their signatures looked identical. So for $30, and even if it's not a $1,200 book, what if it's a $400 book or $500 book? I don't plan on selling this at all. This is a prized piece of my collection now, but I was blown away. So I would have just been happy with the dust jacket. I couldn't believe it. So I was going to share this with you guys. I was thinking about ordering another one, but I'm not going to. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. I have nothing to do with this sale, and I can't guarantee that you're going to get something signed either, and you may get a book in bad condition because some of the reviews were pretty poor. I got lucky. I rolled the dice for $30. I was willing to get an edition that wasn't in good condition. But not only did I get one in good condition, and it's really weird to me how Amazon, of all places, would have books like this that they're selling for Amazon Prime. There's Hanna and Barbera. Both of these gentlemen have passed away. And by the way, Gordon Hunt passed away in 2017, I believe, at the age of 87. So he was around for a long time, but I don't know how Amazon got his book that was inscribed to him. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I feel like ordering another one just to see what I get, but I think there's probably only a couple left, and I'm going to let you, if you guys decide you want to try it and roll the dice, don't be mad at me if you get something jacked up and no signature and no dust jacket. I don't want to hear anything. I'm just trying to help you guys. But I would have easily paid a couple of $100s if I knew that this was signed by Hanna and Barbera. There's no proof that this is signed by Hanna and Barbera, other than it looks like it's signed by Hanna and Barbera. There's no COA, Certificate of Authenticity, but it looks awfully like their signatures from what you can Google it and they'll show you what their signatures look like. It looks like identical to that. So this is a great piece. This is going to go very well with my signed Ralph Bakshi book. This is a nice companion piece. Easily the best $30 I've ever spent. And free shipping on top of that. And it got here in like 2 days. I think I ordered it on a Friday. Today's Monday, so. What a beautiful book. I was almost getting kind of greedy, hoping that I would see a Ted Sennett signature as well, but I'm completely fine with just having Hanna-Barbera sign that. And inscribed to a legend. The pages are very thick. Everything is gorgeous for a book from 1989. And for them to have dated it, Christmas Day of 1989, is amazing. There's Dawes. I believe that's Dawes Butler right there, who was, let's see, Dawes Butler and Don Messick. Those are two legends in the voice game for cartoons. You'll see those two names, and Mel Blanc. Dawes Butler. They had a tribute page to Dawes Butler, who passed away just before this book was released back in '89. I don't know exactly what year Butler died, but they did have a little tribute page to him. I'll show you that at the very end. I kind of went through it very fast, but I mean, everything is crisp and clean. This is beautiful. I was a little bit nervous when I was reading some of the reviews, and some of the people showed pictures of what they had, and it looked awful. And this is really, really nice. It even kind of has that, it still has that smell, you know, of book. Not musty, but it just has that book smell to it. I don't know if it's the ink that they used or what, but there's a guy who voiced Fred Flintstone. His name was Alan Reed. And then Jean Vanderpyle, right there, she voiced Wilma. And Barney was voiced by Mel Blanc. And B. Benaderet voiced Betty. That's cool. Very, very happy with this purchase. And I'm not uploading this video to show off or to gloat about this. I truly want somebody else to find a piece of gold like this too. I'm hoping that somebody will find either a film cell or a Ted Sennett autograph, or fingers crossed for you guys that you'll find something signed by Hanna and or Barbera. And like I said, I get nothing out of this at all. I can go buy another one and see if I can win the lottery again, but I would rather let you guys try to get it. I don't need more than one book. I'll be curious to hear if any of you guys have tried to purchase this. I don't know how many are left. I do know that there's at least one, because it's still listed on Amazon. It's going to come from Amazon. It's going to come in an Amazon box. There's Alan Melvin, who was the voice for Magilla Gorilla, and he was also in the Brady Bunch. He was Alice's boyfriend, right? He was the butcher. Was he Frank the Butcher or something like that? It was Alice's squeeze on that show. Hillbilly Bears. Secret Squirrel and Morocco Mole. Squiddly Diddly. And what does that say? The Winsome Witch. I don't really I remember a Broomhilda or something like that, but I don't remember Winsome Witch. Here's the superheroes. It's a Fantastic Four. It says, as kids, Bill and I had always loved the big heroic figures like Frank Merriwell and Tom Swift. Now it was our turn to create our own Joe Barbera. Awesome. Johnny Quest. There's their dog, Bandit, Haji. Race Bannon, Johnny Quest, Dr. Benton, Quest, and Bandit again. There's Space Ghost and Jace and Jan, and their monkey Blip. This was back when cartoons were great. There's Space Ghost and Dino Boy with his pet Bronto. There's Frankenstein Jr. and his friend Buzz. And then the Impossibles. It was kind of like a rock and roll group. I guess they were kind of trying to be superheroes and as a rock group. Here's the Space Cadets, pint-sized heroes who fought evildoers like Captain Skyhook. And here are the Herculoids. Tundro Zak and Igu help King Xandor and his son Dorno rescue Xandor's wife Tara. Here's Shazan, not to be confused with Shazam. This is Shazan with an N. Chuck and Nancy. That's a beautiful picture right there. Really, really nice. And here's the New Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. That's what I was trying to explain to you guys earlier, that they had live action mixed with animation, and it really worked. It was great. There's Moby Dick and his teenage pals Tom and Tub. And they had a friend named Scooby, that little sea lion or whatever, seal. His name was Scooby. And he made noises kind of like Scooby-Doo, which was weird. Here's the Mighty Mightor. There's young Samson with Goliath. That was a great show. It was kind of like a cowardly dog that turned into a lion when things got real, when he had to go and handle some business. This is Birdman and the Galaxy Trio. You got Galaxy Girl, you got Vapor Man, and you got Meteor Man. There's the Fantastic Four. There's the Adventures of Gulliver. And the Arabian Nights. There's of course Scooby, which is probably their gem. That was probably their big seller. There's Dick Dastardly and Muttley. He was a villain, but he was always getting foiled in ridiculous ways. Well, here's Penelope Pitstop. And I'm drawing a blank on what his name was. The Hooded Claw, it says here. The Hooded Claw, that's what his name was. And that was called the Anthill Mob. They were pretty funny, like a little gangster, like an old-timey gangster crew. So here is Phileas Fogg and his friend Hoppy and Jenny from Around the World in 79 Days. And of course, we all know Scooby, Shaggy, Daphne, Velma, and Fred. And then they tried to later add a new character to the show called Scooby Dumb, which was supposed to be Scooby's idiot cousin. And then later they had his nephew, which was Scrappy Doo. This one is Scooby Goes Hollywood, 1971. Man, this is a beautiful book. I would call this a coffee table book. It's pretty big. It's pretty heavy. It's really nice, thick pages. Here's Butch Cassidy. Here's the Funky Phantom and Josie and the Pussycats. They have a couple of different Blu-rays for Josie and the Pussycats. I think there's a movie from them, from that era, and there's also like the complete series on Blu-ray. Here's the Clue Club, and these two dogs are called Whimper and Woofer. There's Jabber Jaw, Inch High Private Eye, Captain Caveman, Hong Kong Phooey, So many more. This is the Blue Falcon and Dino Mutt. Here's Grape Ape and Beagle Beagle. Beagly Beagle. Dino Mutt again. What was that show? Little Lamsey, he would say, "It's the Woof, the Woof." And then this was the villain. I forgot what the name of that show was. Mildew observes Bristol Hound and Little Lamsey in It's the Wolf. I think that's what it was called, It's the Wolf, but the lamb would always say, "It's the Woof, the Woof." Here is Motor Mouse and Auto Cat. There's Chopper and his gang. Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. And here's the Hair Bear Bunch. There's the Roman Holidays. This one's called These Are the Days. I don't know anything about that one. Looks pretty good though. I would give it a shot. I love this old animation. Here's Where's Huddles. The Partridge Family, 2200 AD. Kind of an outer space, almost kind of like a Jetsons Partridge Family. And then this one is called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. This is the one that was voiced by Tom Bosley. This one is C-Lab 2020. This is Devlin. And this is from C-Lab 2020 as well. She wants to see the C-Lab. This one's called Godzilla. The Godzilla Power Hour. That is awesome. I got to look for that one. I don't know if that's on disc or not. This one is... Okay, so I can hear the dogs outside barking. This is called Heidi and Her Animal Friends. So I should probably wrap this up pretty quick because I think my dogs are going to start barking. Here's Last of the Mohicans from 1975. And Davy Crockett on the Mississippi from 1975. These are cartoons I've never seen before. I would love to see these. This one is called Jack and the Beanstalk, 1966. Oh, that's this one. What was that last photo? Beauty is Trapped in Black Beauty, 1978. This one is Mickey and the Beanstalk. Is that what it was called? Not Mickey and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk. There was a Mickey and the Beanstalk. Looks like this one was also live action mixed with animation. Here's Charlotte's Web. That's a classic. I didn't even realize that was Hanna-Barbera. I own that movie too. I should throw it in with my collection. What a great movie that was. This one's called Terrific. Oh no, Terrific. This is what she spelled. That's still Charlotte's Web. I was trying to read over here. Terrific Wilbur. Templeton. It's been a long time since I've seen Charlotte's Web. No, that's a tearjerker. Here's the Heidi's Song, it's called, from 1982. Here's some more stills. Try not to make the page squeak. It drives me crazy when I watch a video and somebody's making that noise. It's like fingers on a chalkboard. This one is called The Last of the Curlews, 1972. It says, sadly, Mark holds the dead body of the curlew's mate. I never heard of that before. Huh. Some of these cartoons would really tug at the heartstrings. Charlotte's Web was another one like that. Here's the Smurfs. This is called present tense, future tense, the 80s and beyond. And remember, this was released in 1989. So you have Fonz and the Happy Days Gang. You had Mork and Mindy as a cartoon. I had no idea. The Quickie Koala Show. Dirty Dog and Ratso. Crazy Claus is about to land a tree on Rawhide Clyde and his dog Bristletooth. Oh. Pound Puppies. I know some of you guys remember that. There's the Dukes. There's GoBots. Challenge of the GoBots. I know some of you guys remember that. There's Galtar. That's a nice picture. It's the Smurfs again. I never really got into the Smurfs. Even as a little guy, I never really cared much for the Smurfs. I thought it was a little bit too cheesy. It kind of reminded me of like Winnie the Pooh. That's also very cheesy. Didn't really care much for that. I thought Grumpy Smurf was pretty funny. That guy was always grumpy about something. Pac-Man. That was a cartoon. These are the Monchichis. I don't know if you guys remember these. These little guys. The Snorks. These are all from the 80s. That one is David and Goliath. I know Hanna-Barbera did a lot of Bible stories right around this time too. They called it the Greatest Adventure Stories from the Bible. You could still find these on VHS in thrift shops. The Creation, Adam and Eve, Samson and Delilah. All with that great Hanna-Barbera animation. There are the two guys. It says this was in August of 1988. Joseph Barbera and William Hanna received the prestigious Governor's Award from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And 1 year later, they signed this book. Looks like William Hanna was a Boy Scout. Eagle Scout, actually. That's pretty impressive. It's Joseph Barbera. He used to spend a lot of time with hospitalized children. Sorry about that ambulance. I live right down the street from a hospital. Can't do anything about that. Here's the cast of many characters that these guys created. That's amazing. Really cool. And there they are. It says Joseph Barbera and William Hanna ready for the next 50 years. They brought a lot of joy to a lot of kids around the world. And then here's kind of the appendix or whatever you call this here at the back. You can look up Posse Impossible. It'll tell you a little bit more about that. So yeah, this is great. It tells you little facts. It says population of Bedrock was 2,500. Glossary, different facts about the cartoons. Really, really cool. That's the cast of The Gathering from 1977. I'm not sure what that is. You can see Ed Asner. He jumped out. I don't know. Let's see if we can recognize anybody else. Not really. Korg, it talks a little bit about. I'm kind of just flipping. Here's the index. So no signature from Ted Sennett, but I told you I was going to show you guys the fingers are dry. So there's the inscription again on the signatures, and then there's a poster that shows different characters, and you can play a game and try to figure out who's who if you want to try to guess. It tells all the names. And then, where was the, here it is right here. In memory of Dawes Butler, whose many inimitable voices were so important to Hanna-Barbera. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do check that link down below if you're interested in trying to score one of these for yourself. Let me know what you thought about the different movies or different cartoons, and if you recognized any of them, if you've seen any, if you plan on getting any for your collection. And I'd be curious to know if you're going to roll a dice and try to grab that as well. For Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you, spending a little time with me. And take care. Have a great week.